Welcome to the Chapter 1 podcast, your inside look at the people powering Charlotte's business scene. Real stories, real entrepreneurs right here in the Queen City. We're here today with Cori Stuart of Cori Stuart Holistic Healing. Cori, glad to have you on. Let's start at Chapter 1. Cori, tell me, how did you wind up here in Charlotte?
That is a fun question. It's not anywhere I ever imagined I would be, and now I can't imagine being anywhere else. So honored to be here. How did I end up in Charlotte? I ended up working with a mindset coach based in Mooresville, and I started working for them part-time. And I'm like, why am I commuting from a place that's complaining about the same stuff time after time and going someplace where the economy's growing and the people are not just complaining? Maybe I should move. Maybe this will help me with my own mindset and help others more so with theirs.
So how did you, where did you, I guess, did you start before Charlotte, and what was life like, I guess, before you made that move?
Yeah. So if you were to look at my resume, it's a train wreck, a beautiful train
I feel
wreck.
a lot of people in the same boat.
I think so.
Don't think you're alone.
Anymore, it's not the let's camp out at the same career for 20 years. But I grew up in Central Illinois, and I went into museum studies. Graduated just in time for the Field Museum to say, we can't afford to hire you. We just lost our funding. I'm like, great. It's not personal. What can I do? And I thought about going into teaching. They also let go of like 300 teachers. So I'm like, all right, I'll go into finance. I don't like numbers, but no matter what the economy's doing, we need finance people. And I honestly turned into my own best client. I was burnt out and stressed out, but I had a job at least. So that was me in Central Illinois.
Mm. And so how did you find your way to what you're doing now? Because it seems like the other side of the working world.
Actually, I don't think it seems like it. I think it is the other side
Probably
of the working
is, yeah.
world. A couple years before I really started doing what I was doing, they were going to give me a pill to fix the pill. And a lot of people who work with any kind of a mental imbalance understand all too well, oh, you've got restless leg. We've got a pill that can fix that. Oh, but wait, the restless leg is a side effect of something you guys are already giving me. Why are you wanting to give me more medicine? I politely told the doctor to go bugger off and worked with the pharmacist to wean off of the medicine, because I am not saying that anybody should just cold turkey any kind of medicine, especially when they say don't. But shortly thereafter, an individual in my life lost a family member very suddenly, and it was recommended for them to go see a medium to be able to say goodbye and to try Reiki in order to get their mind to quiet down. And after a couple sessions, they're like, look, if it's helping me be able to quiet my brain, maybe, just maybe, it'll work with your generalized anxiety. I told them, I'm not going to buy the snake oil. I'll show up. It won't work. Whatever. And after 2 sessions, I might have sheepishly looked at my shoe and said, I kind of owe you an apology. This stuff is actually working. And after I moved down here and started studying and working for the mindset coach, I'm like, wait, there are healers like that do this full time. It doesn't just have to be a byproduct or a hustle, like side hobby or something that I receive for life. I can actually help people do this full time. Okay, now we're really getting somewhere. Maybe, just maybe, I'll make a leap.
And so when was that you started Cori Stuart Holistic Healing? Like, how long have you been doing that, if you own the company?
I started the company 7 years ago. And it started out as a part-time. I was ready to just about go full-time, and the universe had other plans. I decided it'd be really fun to go Memorial Day weekend and get a brain injury.
Oh, okay.
So I got to be my own best client for about 1.5 years, learning really how to heal myself so that way I could be a better service for others. So 2.5 years ago is when I went full-time and taking care of others as well as myself.
So what in those earlier phases of I guess the transition between doing something for somebody else and then doing something for yourself.
Yeah.
What were some of the unforeseen hurdles and things that you had to deal with going, just, hey, this is not something that I thought I had to deal with, and now that I'm doing everything on my own, I've had to realize that you got to start doing this thing?
First off, you have to practice what you preach, especially when it comes to self-care and helping others work with what's going on between their two ears and what's working through their body. If you're not in a good place to do within yourself, you really can't do that for other people. So for me, in having the brain injury, I had no option but to take care of myself first. I couldn't take care of others. So really being able to look at yourself and own, okay, am I in a good place? Am I not in a good place? I would say it has been a, not a game changer, but like a foundation, as well as you have to be able to ask for help. So just because you're in your starting phases doesn't mean you have to do all your finances. You have to do all the marketing. Like if you have people in your sphere that can help you, please let them share their gifts and help you.
Right. And so you mentioned marketing. In the early phases, I feel like it's almost the you say, okay, well, I believe in this thing. I feel like I can bring some value. Now, where are the people that I can give this to? And marketing becomes the first, at least for us, it was the first obstacle of saying, well, how do I go out and get to know people? So for you, what were those earlier stages of marketing? How did that look? How did you acquire clients? How did you get to know people?
That is such a great question. And I think it shows some of the evolution of Charlotte. So for me, it was a lot of in-person events because doing energy work or Reiki, it's not necessarily mainstream. So when I'm able to be face-to-face with individuals, it helps them feel more at ease and have a better understanding of what it is they can receive in a very beneficial way. But when I first started going into the city from Lake Norman, they were like, oh, that's too far. That was 7 years ago. And now I have people drive from all over Charlotte, and they're like, you're totally worth it. So I think Charlotte's evolved a bit in that regard. So I'm very grateful for the in-person contacts. Social media is a necessary evil. Yeah.
It's probably where you're telling most of your clients to stay off that. It's driving your brain crazy, but at the same time, it's a good source of marketing. It's a good way to find people.
It's an excellent way to find people. And I think there's a way that you can curate your feed. So if I look at my boyfriend's feed, he's a car guy, right? A lot of his feed are cars, like other car people, different vintage cars. Whereas me in the holistic field, I have crystals, I have dogs, I have mindset tools and techniques, neurofeedback tools and techniques, and Reiki practitioners. So I think if you're going to be on the social media stuff, because let's be honest, most of us are, there is a way you can do it with intention.
Yeah. So holistic healing, it seems like a super broad, just like I hear it and I'm like I feel like a million things fall into that category.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you don't do all single million things. So help people understand when you say holistic healing, what does that mean for you? Like what are the things that you're doing with people?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking that question. So for me, holistic healing is really, let's take what's going on in between your two ears. So let's address the mindset. What are the different beliefs that you might have had installed throughout your age or throughout your life that aren't necessarily helping you grow your business or helping you grow your personal self forward, that we can kind of put on an energetic bonfire, if you will, as well as how do we take the things that are working really, really well and shift that into day-to-day practice. So it's taking what's between your two ears and converting that into action. As well as there's this concept of the body keeps a score. So for all the imbalances or the traumas that we might have been through, energetically we can release those without having to talk through them or having to necessarily re-traumatize the body. That's what I love about Reiki and the energetic work that I do. We can have a conversation if you wanted to about cars or about history or about crystals, whatever your jam is, and your body's helping to let go of what no longer serves it while also balancing itself. So there's less inflammation. So you have less brain fog. If you have an injury, you're healing faster. Things of that sort. So for me, that's my version of a holistic practice, because there's also some physical movements that can help you be better balanced, be better focused.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what does that process look like? I mean, if I was a person who was saying, "Hey, I feel like when you say those things, brain fog and just, having to fix my mentality. And I'm curious about that from, point A to point Z. Like, how does that process work with you?
Yeah. So my process is we'll assess, okay, what is the end goal of where you want to be? Because most of us by age 30 or 40, we've invested in a couple of programs. We've heard of those great 6-step things that are Instacures. So we'll assess, okay, what have you already started to implant that you want to create a foundation with? So we're creating a foundation of what you want to keep, what you want to let go of intellectually, as well as assessing how is your body feeling? Are there different aches and pains that you feel might be able to be let go? How can we help you sleep better? Because most of us aren't getting true rest. Or how do we let go of the hyperfixation? Because that's a lot of what overwhelm is. It's our brain gets stuck on this one loop, right?
And for you, I mean, it seems like this would kind of entail a broad spectrum of clientele. Like, there's probably not a cutoff for you, but have you noticed maybe a target clientele over your time? Does it seem like it's mainly this type of client?
Yeah, I'd say I get a lot of incredible women who are just like, okay, I'm starting to reach the point where either I want to launch my own business or I've launched my own business and it's hit this point where I can't grow anymore. And I know that there's something that I've got to be doing or thinking that's keeping myself in the way. How do I reprogram that? And the beautiful thing is there are a lot of gentlemen who are starting to catch on to oh, wait, I can't just bully my way through it. Or I shouldn't say bully. I should say, like, physically act my way through it. Like, you can't just hustle culture your way through life.
Sure. And for you, I imagine, like we mentioned about holistic healing being kind of broad, I'm sure you still probably run into people that are doing very similar things to you. So if I were to go to somebody else, what's something that I might not be able to find there that I would be able to find with you? What makes you unique in your field?
Yeah. So I think what sets me apart is I am very much a trial and error kind of a person. So if I'm making a recommendation of this is what I would recommend you try doing, I've probably tried the other scenarios 2 or 3 times just to make sure that they do or don't work. So that comes with the energy work that I do, especially with anxiety. And I remember being in 2nd grade and starting to feel anxious, which in the 80s, that wasn't something you talked about. The great thing about the current culture, people who used to make fun of me are now like, okay, maybe you're onto something. Maybe some of the tools that we might have helped you grow could help us out now too. Sorry about that. Yeah.
So with what you get to do with your clients, what would you say you love most about the process? What do you love most about what you get to do?
I think the best part is working with clients and helping them know that they can be in a relaxed state that will help them for the next 5 to 7 days. So with Reiki, it's the intentional movement of energy. It can be done by distance. It can be done in person. And with my clients, they can come in and we can have a casual conversation. We can dive in with about what's bugging them at work, or they can fall asleep. A lot of times I normally have a dog in my room. She's normally snoring, and sometimes my clients are too. And I'll get a text in the next day or two. I had the confidence to go in and ask for a raise, or I had the confidence to go in and pitch, and I ended up receiving a grant. There are all kinds of different things that clients have had the self-strength, I would say, and the self-trust to be able to go for themselves, even with just one session. Now, I'm not saying one session is a cure-all. I normally definitely recommend more than that, just like all things in life. But even that one foundational either coaching session or that one session can make a difference.
So have you had any just like wild experiences, like bad experiences, just that you weren't expecting to happen kind of coming in this field, or like a story to tell about doing what you do?
I'd say the strangest was my own situation and getting my car rolled and getting the brain injury and being in the trauma unit and having nurses coming in and they're like, "Are you playing meditation music?" Or I was running energy through myself and had also asked a couple of other practitioners, "Hey, I unfortunately am in the trauma unit. Can you run some energy on me? I could use all the help I can get. And they're like, you just seem so calm. There's no way you don't have more injuries. Like, how are you walking out of here? So for me, being able to take my own tools and use those was pretty amazing. But client-wise, I had the pleasure last summer of working with a gal who hadn't applied for a job in probably 12 years. And she's like, Cori, I want to have the confidence to be able to walk into an office knowing that I am capable, that I am worthy, and that I can ask for a raise. Mm-hmm. And we worked together for a couple of months, and she, even in the current economy where it's kind of tough to get a job, was able to secure a job that she absolutely loves at a comparable pay. And she's like, I love it. I feel so comfortable and confident in what I'm doing. So that's awesome. One of my favorites. Yeah.
So for somebody who might be starting their own thing, you having been in this practice and you've owned this for 7 years now, what's maybe one piece of advice that you would give somebody kind of branching off and doing their own thing right now? What's an important piece of information you feel like they should know?
I feel like if you have the dream within you, follow it. And not everybody is made to be an entrepreneur. Like, I love my employee people. Mm-hmm. Like, I will support you just as much as I will the people who decide I'm taking my own dream and I'm running with it. But as you're starting your own dream, like, yes, it's your dream, but you don't have to do it alone. Mm-hmm. Like, find your community, find the people who can support you, whether it's your social media people, your accountant, or even just a fellow business owner that you can call and be like, I've had a no good, terrible day. What do I do? How do I get up tomorrow and do this again?
Right.
Yeah. To me, that's it. That's kind of putting on your superhero cape.
Yeah.
Like, if you've got the cojones to reach out and say, I need help, there are people out there who will help.
That's right. Cori, thank you so much for giving us some of your time. Really appreciate you being on the show. If somebody wanted to get in contact with you, how could they find you?
Yeah, I'd say the best way to find me is on Instagram. My handle is Cori Stuart Holistic Healer. I'm also very active on my website, and that's coristuart.com.
Awesome. And I'm your host, Greg Prinz. You can find us at the Chapter 1 podcast on Spotify, Facebook, and YouTube. And once again, we've been the Chapter 1 podcast.